What up, though? You guys already know what it is. This is Rock, and I am one fourth of who y'all call the Frag Illuminati. Today's episode: what makes a good winter fragrances. If this is something that y'all interested in listen to the watching, kick back and enjoy. Get your share buttons ready. Get your like buttons ready, and and enjoy this episode. And I'll be right back with the fellas.
Trey is on the track.
Hey, let that ride.
What up, though, fellas? What up, though, peeps? Thanks for coming back again for another episode of the Frag Illuminati. It's your boy Rock, and as I said before, this episode is going to be about what makes um a good winter fragrance. And you see on my other end that we're short two people. I'm sure that they're gonna be popping up in a minute. And we shall see. We do
Hey,
have
what's going on,
Bernie
fellas?
Mac in the Bernie Mac in the
Hey,
building.
how you doing?
Okay.
What's
Now
good? What's good, people? What's
go
good,
ahead and
people?
let the fellas introduce themselves, starting off with Mr. G Man, the one that y'all call Leonard, the one that y'all call G Man. G Man, say hello to the folks.
What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Bernie coming in, kicking in the door. Nice to be back for another week, another segment. Bernie, I think he came in with a grand entrance, so welcome, Bernie. And I think Andre is going to be joining shortly. So we all here, everybody. We all here.
Hey, fellas. Hey, fellas. What's going on? Just be easy. I'm at work. I'm doing my Andre right now, and they got me in an area of the city that's extremely busy, but nothing was gonna keep me from getting on the show. So I thank God that I had the opportunity to be here with you fine folks.
Yes, sir.
Well, cool, fellas. I appreciate y'all introducing yourselves. Now, again, as we wait on Dre, I'm assuming that he's having signal problems. He's out on the road. Everybody knows that he drives trucks. Um, Today's episode, as far as a frag head is concerned, most frag heads would consider this their favorite season as far as wearing frags, right? Um, when we're talking about winter fragrances, this is when we get the opportunity to be the most creative when it comes to wearing fragrances. This is when we're breaking out our ambers, our ouds, our gourmands, a lot of our thick fragrances. These are the ones those are the fragrances that make a um good winter fragrances. When you're talking about a winter fragrance, you're talking about fragrances that you want to be able to withstand the cold, withstand the wind, withstand the weather. Fragrances that last a little bit longer. In the warmer weather, um, you tend to opt to more fresher fragrances, lighter fragrances. Most of your winter fragrances or colder weather fragrances are a little bit cloying in warmer climate, and so hence the reason why they're called, colder weather climate. I mean, colder weather fragrances. Um, and it and when you decide to wear a winter fragrances, it all depends on where you're at or what location that you're living in. Some locations tend to get colder than others at different times of the year. Myself, I'm located in Colorado, where we experience all four seasons in all four seasons. So I do get an opportunity to wear some of my colder weather fragrances in warmer climate because um, we do experience those type of temperatures where we can do so. Um, I do want to ask the fellas. I know I assigned homework to you guys last week. um, and when I
My,
assigned the homework to you guys, I misunderstood what the episode was supposed to be about. I thought we were covering all four seasons, and we were just doing winter season because we're heading toward that season, right? So I'm not sure how many fellas had, actually did the homework, but if they didn't find, I got it. I have the winter fragrances covered. So, but I did want to ask the fellas, what type of fragrances do they look for when they start to, uh, when they start to reach for their colder weather scents, or when they start to reach for their colder weather scents? Let's start with the G man.
I in colder climates, I look for like a woody fragrance in the woody category, and it's mostly of a wood base scent. Normally your cedars, your vetivers, your sandalwoods, even Bernie's ouds, which is a form of wood.
Indeed.
When you what killed me, man, is when you open up, Eric, and you said oud, Bernie just walked in the door smiling, man. Like you call his name. He was cheesing, man. He was cheesing. But that's what I look for. I look for something a leather scent. I don't know if I mentioned leather based scent, but those are the ones that I look for because they're durable. They'll withstand the climate, and they're gonna be with you.
What about you, Bernie?
With me, so it won't be repetitive. I like gourmands usually during the winter. All of the things that G talked about are the same the same notes that I look for during the winter. I just started getting into leather. Now I like leather a lot, but oud, um, all of the notes that he mentioned in gourmands, especially during this time of the year, you got Thanksgiving, Christmas, and stuff like that. For those who celebrate that, and like one of my favorite scents that I like to wear during the winter is orgeat, and that's like a cinnamon nutmeg. I like Carlisle. Remember, I posted in the groups that I wore that a few days ago. That's real heavy with cinnamon, oud, wood, like G Man was talking about. And another one is Italica. Um, Anything that's kind of like gourmand, that's typically where I wear more. I think the other day I had Pegasus exclusive on, and remember me and you was talking about. You said it's a compliment getter. That's almond, but it has the latent base and all of the different notes that surrounded latent to make latent what it was. Gave that to the almond and make it, present better for the Pegasus exclusive. But those are the things I typically look for when I wear a winter set.
That's what's up. Okay, so question, fellas. I mean, because you guys mentioned a lot of heavy scents, right?
Mhm,
You mentioned a lot of thick scents.
mhm.
Is it a rule, or would you say that a winter scent necessarily has to be a beast mode scent? Is there a difference between the two? And can you wear a fresh scent in the wintertime?
You can. It depends on what it is. I've got some creeds that are multi-seasonal. You can run them year round. But I think what you want to look at is what are you looking to get out of the fragrance. Um, if you're wanting something, if it's cold, you're wearing overcoats, you're wearing heavy sweaters, and you wear a fresh scent, then you may not. You're less likely to smell it beyond the clothing that you have on because it's thicker clothing. And so that's something to consider. You spray oud fragrance, 1 or 2 sprays, man. I don't care what you're wearing. You're gonna still be able to smell it for hours after hours after hours. Same thing with the leathers and the woods, those type of scents. So there are some that you can wear year round, and I do have those, and I wear mine based on mood. But I do understand if I wear a fresh in the wintertime, that I know the consequences of wearing that and the results of it before I spray it.
What about you, Bernie?
The only fresh scents that seemed to been performing well since it got colder was the Middle Eastern ones, and they the fresher ones that I have collected from the Middle Eastern, Arabian Oud and Indeed, they seem to be able to perform well during the summer as well as they do the winter. Um, you was asking, do you kind of wear out of season? If I know that I'm indoors, a lot of AC and stuff like that. If I'm tired of the fresh scents, I may grab one of my heavier ones, but I won't use as much in the application, which we talked about a few weeks ago. But the only fresh scents that I've been able to kind of get away with it is the Middle Eastern stuff. But what was surprising about it, they're not that strong during the winter. I mean, during the summer, which was pretty good. So that's typically what I do.
Now, I do want to shout out one of our fragrance groups, and this is a shout out to the Black Fragrance Addicts. Um, Around August, a lot of people got bored with their summer scents, and you've seen a lot of people start to break out with their more cold weather scents, because of the fact that, like I said, you can be more creative with those. Those scents are louder. Um, you know, they tend to last longer. So a lot of people did start to break out with their heavier ambers and roses and leathers and things of that nature. Are you guys amongst those people that differentiated, or do you stay fresh during the summer months?
I mix it up, man. Like I said, I wear mine based on mood, and if I have a mood or a desire for a certain scent, because I'm sure you guys can relate to this. You go in to the room where you keep your fragrances. You look at a bottle, and you may decide that this is the one in your mind before you go in. Even before you go in, there, this is what I'm aware. But you get to looking at all the pretty bottles, man, and thinking about how one smells, and you get detracted from where you were headed, and you wear something completely different, especially if it's one that you had worn in 7, 8 months, and you just
Hmm.
have a pill to wear it. I'm guilty of that because I do that. I have intent of wearing something, but end up wearing something else because I miss wearing it, and it's been several months since I've worn it. You know, Eric, you may not have that problem with 150 plus cents, but I do. I don't have 150.
Well, I did bring some out with me. These are some examples of what I would consider some good examples of some good summer scents. Now,
Is
a
that is
very
that Creed? Creed? Is it Creed?
no, it's not Creed. It's not Creed. Now, I did bring some examples of some good popular winter scents, right? And the first one I brought here is from Frederick Mall, and this one is called Portrait of a Lady, right? This one features the notes of rose and patchouli, and it is a heavy scent. Even in the winter time, you only need 2 sprays of this, and it will last all day, right? It is a strong rose. It is a strong patchouli. It's not everybody's cup of tea. It's not everybody's cup of tea, and I think I'm the only person in the Illuminati that probably owns this, right?
You're a rose lover, though.
All right. So, yeah, it's not everybody's cup of tea. It will, like I said, it will last all day, and it it projects. You will get compliments on this, or you will get comments on this. I'm not sure if it's compliments or not, but I know that a lot of reviewers say that this is their favorite fragrance. I won't say that this is my favorite fragrance, but I do enjoy it. But as you can tell, that it's still almost a full bottle. I very seldom get the opportunity to wear it because of the fact that this is so thick. It is so heavy, and you definitely have to be careful when wearing it. Okay. And another
Now,
one that is new
now,
to my
Eric, let me ask you that before you introduce the next
Mhm.
one. Isn't that routine with rose-based fragrances, rose fragrances?
I was
If
about
the
to
rose
ask
is
him that
pretty,
because he just got the wild back in his rotation.
Yeah, I mean it is common with a lot of rose based scents are basically are mostly considered winter fragrances. There are few exceptions because Lamar is what I would consider a rose-based fragrance, and I consider that a year-round fragrance. Um, Boyadisa the Victorious is Azrak. It's heavy in rose, but it's marketed as a summer fragrance, right? So so not all, it's not a rule that all rose fragrances are winter fragrances, but um most rose fragrances would be considered heavy enough for the winter time, right? Now, also want to shout out Dre. He's out in the audience, right? And I want to shout out some other people. Natasha, she's always here. She's supporting us. Antoine, he's here supporting us. He's the fifth. If people don't know, he's the fifth member of the Illuminati. We like to call him Bobby from the Five Heartbeats because nobody ever saw Bobby, right? So, right. So, yeah, he's out in the audience, and everybody else that's watching and streaming. If you can like the video, share it out. That way we get our numbers up. Another fragrance that I do want to highlight is new to my collection, and it's from a new house, a relatively new house. And these people have come into the game, coming to the game strong. Yes, my Lions won. I mean, I really don't give that
I
a
know it,
lot of.
man. I know.
Yeah,
I
right.
know.
Because I mean, they
I'm
beat a
surprised,
bad.
Bernie. I'm surprised you're not waving flags and everything
Right,
else,
they
man.
beat a bad Green Bay team, so it's like, okay, yeah, at home, so yeah, okay. But I am glad that they won. Thanks, Antoine, for pointing that out. Um, The second fragrance I want to highlight is this one is from Mind Games, and this one is called Jadot. And this one features the note of rose as well, and it also has a strong pomegranate note in it, right? And this is another fragrance. This is not as it's not as beast mode as Portrait of a Lady. This one is mass appealing more mass appealing than Portrait of a Lady. It will stay on your skin for the majority of the day, and for what I've wore so far, because this is new to my collection, so I haven't worn it in extreme cold. But from what I wore, it is thick enough to the point where you would think that it would stand up to the stream code. And this one is called Mind Games. And I'm sorry, this one is called Jadot, and it's from the House of Mind Games.
On that one, Eric, is it
Mhm.
the pomegranate? Is it a sweet, fruity smelling fragrance on that one?
Yes, but it also has the note of leather in the leather and suede in the dry down and the base, which kind of tones that sweetness down, right? So it's
Okay.
not that sweet. That's what makes it a unisex fragrance. That leather and that suede and the dry down, balances it out. And in my appearance, that bad boy is straight down the middle, unisex, and it's a good fragrance.
Okay.
Okay, so
What is that?
which
What is
one?
that? What does that rank in your collection?
This one is, oh shoot. Okay, so one thing about the Mind Games, these tops are garbage. So don't try to handle it by the top. This one, off the top of my head, it's at least top 40 in my collection, right?
Wow.
When you're talking about a collection of over 150 fragrances, when you're saying that a fragrance is top 40, that's still a good fragrance. So
And you just got that one, huh?
yep.
Not that long ago.
Not the house. The house just launched in September, and I think I've had it since September. Right.
That's not too. You're not being too biased, man.
Dre just
Leave that alone.
Dre just said that it took 9 hours to dry off his skin, so so he's vouching for it. He's vouching for it. Now, I do also want to point out that not all winter fragrances have to be dense. Not all winter
Mhm.
fragrances have to can not does not have to um be the ones with the heavy oud or the roses or this, that, and the other. You can do with your floral. You can wear winter scents. You can wear winter. I'm sorry. You can wear floral scents in the winter. You can wear your powdery scents in the winter. And as an example, I'm bringing out Rosa Matu's number 5.
I
This
knew
is
you were gonna
a
say number 5, man.
huh?
I knew you were going with number 5. That's
Right.
one of your best, huh? You like
Yeah.
that one.
I love this one. This one is top 10 in my collection. And this is a floral sensual musk. It features a note of musk. It does have some rose in it, but it's a powdery floral type of fragrance, and it does last all day, and it would stand up to the winter weather. This is another one that stands up to winter weather. So you don't have to go with the heavy ones. You just have to find one that does last long and does project enough to the point where you can wear it in any type of season.
I think the key word you said on that is musk.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Mhm.
Man, musk. Any musk fragrance is gonna be pretty potent anyway. I don't care how well it's
Mhm.
blended. It's gonna be pretty potent and
Mhm.
durable.
Oh yeah. And this one is
I
nice. This is definitely a compliment getter.
mhm.
It's a compliment getter, and it lasts all day. And it's another one of those fragrances that is unisex straight down the middle, right? And if you need to put a layer with something, because you got people that just want to make it just a tad bit more masculine. You can do it with something a little smoky, a little something more smoky, um something like red tobacco. I wouldn't put too much of because tobacco has that fruity nuance in it that one has. You do a spray of that with that, it allows it to have a little smoke along with that flow and that musk, and it'll be awesome.
I
It'll
was
be
about to
awesome.
mention that during the winter I like tobacco scents too.
Yeah.
I was on
Oh
my
yeah.
way to that.
All right. And speaking of tobacco scents, another one of my favorites.
Mhm.
We got Boundless from Amouage, right? And this one features a note of tobacco. It also features another winter note of vanilla. And this one's another one that lasts at least 8 hours on skin, has great projection, great longevity, and is another compliment getter, right? Um, this is from the House of Almirage. And I do notice that a lot of these fragrances that I have mentioned so far are niche fragrances, and those are fragrances. If we do have people in the audience that are not familiar with niche fragrances, or not these familiar with these fragrances that are more on the um expensive side, these are ones that we recommend that you sample before you buy. um if you search the web, there are a lot of discounters out there that will allow you to sample a lot of these before you buy them. um what we don't recommend is that you blind buy these fragrances, because they do cost a lot of money, and um and B, they're not for everybody. Most of these are, even though they do smell good, they're not mass appealing for everyone. I think of the ones that I showed so far, this is probably the most mass appealing, right? And so but all the other ones are to a unique, caters to a more unique nose. Right now,
Let
for
me say
those
that there's an exception to blind buying. If your name is Andre, you're cleared to blind buy. I
Shoot,
I
man.
don't know that he buys almost everything he gets blindly, man. So if your name is Andre and you call yourself Dre Smooth, blind
He
buy
said
all
Dre
you want,
Smooth.
man. Yeah, Dre Smooth, man. Just buy. Don't if it looks good, it ain't gotta look good. Dre's gonna buy it if he sees
Add
it.
it to the
So
list.
Add it to the
the
list.
list.
That's the favorite saying. So had to put that disclaimer out there. So his
Mhm.
name is Dre. There's an
Now,
exception to the rule.
if you're looking for something more cost, if you're looking for something something in the designer realm and something that's just a tad bit less expensive, okay, I got one for you. Dior Sauvage Elixir,
I
Yeah,
agree
right?
with that one.
Huh?
yeah,
I agree
Right.
with that one.
yeah,
Yep. So,
yeah.
and this is another cold weather fragrance that will last all day on your skin. Um,
And
now,
that one actually can wear year round though.
uh, when I've attempted to wear it in the summertime, it was kind of heavy,
It's
right?
Well,
tough.
it is
It's
heavy.
tough.
It's heavy.
Right.
It's tough.
Now, this
It's
is a
tough.
spicy one. This is a spicy fragrance, and it is a mass appealing fragrance. Unfortunately, I do not know the notes off the top of my head.
It's
I don't
citrus.
think I've worn this one quite. I haven't worn this quite a bit, but I think I'm going to wear it a little bit more this winter. But I haven't worn this at all. But when I say that this is less expensive, I don't mean cheap. It's
No,
less
Nah,
that
nah.
expensive,
joint that was $200 bottle there
right?
when it first dropped.
And exactly. And since then, they've come out with a bigger bottle. They've come out with a bigger bottle, and at a little bit more of a higher price point. But for this 2 liter, this 2 milliliter, is it two? Yeah,
Yeah.
two
It's two.
two
It's
ounce
two. Yeah.
2 ounce
Hmm.
bottle will cost you 155, and it caused a lot of controversy up in FradCon because folks were tripping.
And
155
remember
from designer.
one of the
It's
notes that
crazy.
Rock was talking about that
Hmm.
has is heavy musk. Um, like I think in the middle, even dry down. So when G Man, I think it was Rocco G was talking about musk. That's
Hmm.
one of the reasons why it's like it's kind of it's tough to push during the summer, but wintertime it pops. Good
Oh
God
yeah.
Almighty, it pops real
I
good.
I know when I
Mm-hmm.
had it, I got it when it first hit the market.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, this is just me, guys. Y'all know me.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
If it becomes popular, I'm through with it. So
Oh,
that's
well,
just me.
ship that bottle on over here.
I
I got
already gave it.
some.
Hey, Bernie, Bernie.
So
No, Bernie, I did like you did. I gave it to my son.
Oh, good stuff.
so I don't want to hear any more messed up about my disagreement to Creed. Then I don't want to hear none of that Ventus is whatever, right? Because we talk I mean, if you're not wearing it, then because of its popularity.
That's right. That my Aventus sits on the shelf, man. I pull it out. I think I pulled it out one time this year, and that was it. It
Mhm.
just sits
Well,
on
go
the
ahead
shelf
and
because of
ship. Go
popularity.
ahead, G man. Go ahead.
No,
Sharing is caring. Go ahead and send that on over here.
I'm gonna keep that because that's in the collection. But and I do wear it not routinely, but every once in a blue moon I'll dig it out and spray it. But if it's just popular, and in the fragrance world that we live in, popular
Mm,
to us is considered
Basic.
popular amongst the group. But in the whole scheme of things, we're a small group. The fragrance community is a small group. But and the likelihood of me smelling like the next guy or the next guy is going to be slim anyway. But with you see uh, Dior Sauvages, that's a real common fragrance for people in the community, fragrance community, and people outside. Just like at Venice, when people that are not really big fragrance people, when they ask about something to buy, they always are told, "Well, if you're buying niche, buy Venice." Oh, they'll say
mm-hmm,
Creed, and they'll only understand Creed to mean at Venice. Or they may say,
mm-hmm,
"Oh, get that Sauvage. You can't go wrong with it." So when I say that, when it becomes common, too common for me, and a household name, I kind of gravitate away from it. But that's just me. And
mm-hmm.
y'all not much different. So I don't know where y'all over there front and high side too.
No, I like what I like. I don't like those mean fragrances. Somebody put a fragrance out and almost everybody just run to it.
Yeah,
That I don't like. But if it's good, it's good. Like the elixir, a lot of people just mixed emotions on it. But I always liked it. It just gave
I
me
did
more of
too.
an old school feel with that musk and that blend. It was really nice.
I actually look forward to wearing the Elixir this winter because I haven't. I mean, since I bought it, I think I've worn it maybe once, maybe 3 times, and so
It's
yeah,
safe. It's a
I
safe one.
right. I look forward to wearing it. And you're right, and it does have that mass appeal to it, right? And so I look forward to wearing it. What are some of the other fragrances that y'all look forward to wearing this winter?
My Clive Christian X is one.
Okay.
I have Creed Tavron Melisine.
Mm-hmm.
That's a cigar-based fragrance. I got that one. And if y'all want Elixir, man, Dre Smooth say Andre say his going in the trash. So y'all believe that if you want. Yeah, he say he's throwing it in the trash, man. But a couple of mine, Clive Christian C, which is a leather wood-based scent. This is a real good one. I look forward to wearing that. Ale, which is I think the I, which is an Oriental-based scent, is pretty durable. That I always look forward to wearing. But pretty much those are the main ones that I don't wear routinely year-round. I can, but I don't. And then I've got a Swiss Arabian that I have. It's an Attar al Glutara that, man, 1 or 2 sprays, bro, you good for the whole month. And I look forward to wearing it, but I can't. I tried that this summer because I missed the spray, and bro, I almost gagged the whole day, man, in the heat. It was just too durable, man. So certain ones I look forward to that I can't wear year round routinely. I look for those. Those a couple of them.
What about you, Bernie?
Oh man, I think G caught on to it when I was making my post. He's like, "You starting to show a lot more than Parfum de Marly." They more known for their fall type scents more so than summer and spring. So I'm probably gonna just start running through the line, from Carlisle, Harriet, Pegasus exclusive, Leighton exclusive, Leighton, Cologne. One of my favorites is that what's the name of that? In the green bottle, it used to be sold at Harriet.
Howtone?
Sedley?
No, remember it's a green one. It has oud.
Howtone?
Say it again.
Howtone?
It just came out right this year.
Yeah, Howtone, the one that smells like oud for greatness.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Howtone. I mean, if I'm pronouncing it right, yeah, Howtone.
That I'm running pretty much heavy with that. Killian, Phantom.
Yeah, that's another Killian. Yeah,
I love that set. That's when I really hit the Xerjoff house really hard. Metallica. Remember I wore Noxos the other day when I went to the homecoming. K-Bridge, because it's rose, cut cafe, chocolate, and I forgot what the other note is. And I can pretty much stay in the Middle Eastern house to help expand the rotation. And I may start mixing in more designers because a lot of the designers that I have are more heavier. They weren't really good like during the summer.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it.
Antoine says that he looks forward to wearing Unique Luxuries Couté. Now that's another one that's gonna stay with you. And another one from Unique Luxury that I wore the other day is called Crush on Me, and that's a 12-hour fragrance. That's one of those fragrances that you put on, you pretty much need to. I mean, it's on you; it ain't going nowhere. And so, he also says that he wants to wear Dar Al-Tib Sarah, Initio Side Effect, Initio's Blessed Baraka. Rosendo Matu's number 5 is one we talked about, and Crow Royal Sultan, which are all great fragrances. And amongst us, we have a plethora of a little bit of everything, right? Now here in Colorado, like I said, we enjoy all 4 seasons in all 4 seasons. And right now in November, because it's not necessarily winter yet, technically, but folks tend to wear what they consider transitional fragrances, right? And transitional fragrances are fragrances that you can wear that are strong enough to handle the cold, but as the day warms up, like a typical day here in Colorado will start off at 30 degrees, but we'll heat up until 65, 70 degrees, right? And so we're at that point. What I would wear at that point is what I would consider a transitional fragrance, a fragrance that will stand the cold, but it's not cloying enough for the winter. I mean, cloying enough for when it does warm up through in the day and then cools back down toward the evening, right? And examples of those are the Creed's Aventus, which I would consider a good transitional fragrance. Side Effect, that Antoine mentioned, is a good transitional fragrance. And also my scent of the day, which came from Navitus, and this is called Vivamore. Vivamore is a perfect blend from of Creed Aventus and Baccarat Rouge 540. It's another one of those fragrances that will last all day. Even though I call it a transitional fragrance, you can pretty much wear this all year, right? You can wear this in any type of situation. You can wear it dressed up. You can wear it casually. I have it right now with my sweatsuit on, but I wouldn't be afraid to put it on in a suit. And put it on in a suit. I wouldn't be afraid to put it on. I mean, to wear it to work or anything like that. So it seems like it's a great fragrance. What I want to do right now is I want to ask our watchers, our subscribers, because what I do want to say is that Leonard is a person among us that picks our topics of our shows. So what I want to add, and he does a great job of it. And I want to ask our listeners, what do you want to hear us talk about? I mean, he does a great job, but what kind of topics do you want to hear us talk about? And as we're waiting for you to respond, I do want to introduce a new segment to the show, one that him and I talked about, and one that we've seen other influencers do, and some things that that us as the Illuminati are also interested in. Right. And so what we also are doing is introducing a little fashion into our show. And so for today's episode, we are I'm going to introduce some of the shoes that we have, right?
Hang on, Bernie. Hang on. It's coming, baby. It's coming.
What I wanted to do is I wanted to introduce this Christian Louboutin sneaker that I typically wear, but it's not camera ready, so I'm getting it off the camera real quick. Right. So, but what I'm going to go ahead with instead is this Givenchy sneaker that I treated myself with for my birthday. All right. And so what we do here is we love fragrances, but we also love sneakers as well.
Fashion.
Right. And we love fashion as well. We like to look good and we like to smell good.
Yep.
And one thing about these shoes is once you get to these expensive shoes, they come with their little travel pouch. Right. And so they come in.
Hold it up. Let's see the pouch, man. There you go. Okay.
They all come with their little travel pouch, right? And so a travel pouch, and these is for when you taking them on, and they don't get scuffed up by anything else that you have in your luggage. So I would tell you, anytime you get shoes that has their own little bag that you put in here like that, take advantage of that. Because I mean, I'm telling you, when these shoes are as expensive as they are, when these shoes are expensive as they are, You do not, I mean, and I repeat, you do not want them to get scuffed up or scratched up or messed up by anything else that's in your luggage, right? Anything else that's in your luggage, right? So we're gonna do stuff like that, but we also want to know what you guys want to hear us talk about. So, uh, and we do these shows right off the cuff. Leonard gives us a subject and we just go with it. So, we
Hey,
just go with
I'm
it.
looking at Dre ain't got no sense, man.
Dre is
Dre
going to
ain't got no
display his
sense.
shacks next week, so we looking forward
He's
to
wild.
that.
There's
Yeah,
something wrong with
so
that dude, man. There's something wrong. That's our boy, but I think it's something wrong with him, man.
yeah, mm-hmm.
On that shoe, I have a pair of Givenchy. It depends on how you want to pronounce it. Is some people pronounce it Givenchy, some people pronounce it Givenchy or Givenchy. I
Hmm.
have the George, which is a sock sneaker, and on that one, Eric, um, that one's kind of like a trainer. But is that pretty comfortable? Would you say?
This one is very comfortable, right? This one is very comfortable. This one, not comfortable at all. So, right, and so this is basically a fashion shoe. You wear this one, you wearing this just to be seen and be look good. These are like when women say heels, they only got like a couple of hours in these heels. This is the same for this shoe. You only got a couple of hours in it, then you get up out of it. And so yeah. So but these Da Vinci's, yeah, you can wear those all day. They're good to go.
Yeah, and that's a leather pair, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought. I think when people are looking at designer shoes and that there's certain things you need to look for: the quality, the craftsmanship. Um, Make sure that if you're looking at purchasing pairs from a reputable place, because there are a lot of knockoff out there. If you have a $600 to $900 pair of shoes, I promise you, there's going to be somebody trying to make one that looks like it for 250. So make
Hmm.
sure that you're getting a quality product, an authentic product, because even these shoes, over a period of time, they will retain value in the end. They can be 6 years old, 10 years old. And matter of fact, the older they get, they'll only diminish in price to a certain price point. And then as they get older, the price will increase because of the age and the rarity they are. So that's the thing to look for. I like all different. I got several different brands. I got Balenciaga, which is
Hmm.
Bernie staple. Um,
Hmm.
I like Gucci's. I've got Gucci's. I've got Giuseppe's. I've got Valentino. So I've got a variety of brands of sneakers. And when I was young, they call them tennis shoes, but now they call them sneakers. And the sneakers they call them that because they're charging more for it. So I guess that's why they call them sneakers. But I have a different variety of them, and I just like a nice shoe. Burberry, Dre is saying it's comfortable. I've not gotten one of those yet. A pair of those. I have looked at them. I've looked at Dolce Gabbana, but I've not purchased any of those, and I got enough tennis shoes right now. I don't really need any more. Um, Natasha's saying her Louis Vuittons are comfortable. I don't have Louis Vuittons. Maybe you guys do. I don't know. What brands do you like, Bernie, other than Balenciagas?
Gucci, and whenever I'm doing formal, Ferragamo. I just stay
Yeah,
with a real tight house. I don't branch out too much. Gucci, Bellisi, and for formal, I wear Ferragamo. Those some good
yeah,
walking shoes there, man.
yeah.
Good
Yeah,
walking shoes.
I have the Christian Loubs, Gucci's. I do have a pair of Dolce and Gabbanas, and they are pretty comfortable. And I think of the Italian shoes, or I mean the European shoes, the most comfortable ones I have are the Gucci's, right? And yeah, those are very comfortable. They fit the best. And as far as like Alexander McQueen, I don't know what they do to their shoes or whatever, but the same size shoe that I would wear in a Louis and a Christian lube, a Christian lube or a Christian lube or a Burberry or Gucci. For whatever reason, those are too small for me. And then you try to go a size up, those are too big for me. So I can't mess with Alexander McQueen's for that reason. Right. So yeah, but you do have to be careful when it comes to picking out your European shoes and making sure that they're comfortable for you. And it's best to just go to the department store and try them on. Don't try to order these online if you're not familiar with what your size is, because with European sizes, they can tend to be off and it will cause issues. And as you can see, it looks like Bernie got a call, so we kind of lost him, right? So Bernie is a service. Is one of our first responders. So we do want to thank him for his service and appreciate the fact that he does make an effort to come out here and do these shows with us. But we do understand his need to be a first responder. So we allow him to go ahead and do that. So.
And I agree, Eric. I've got some AMAX, what I call AMAX Alexander McQueen's, and I agree 110% what you said. They do fit different. I also have Pradas. I have the Ferragamos, but out of all of those brands I have, the AMAX, they fit. You have to try those on. If you get your size, your UK size, or European size, translated to American sizes, you'll still come up wrong because they do fit different. Now, Star Rivers asks, does the outfit decide your fragrance? And I'll let you answer that, Eric, and then I'll answer it after you.
And I'm sorry, what was the question, is?
Does your outfit decide your fragrance? And that was by Star Rivers.
Sometimes it does. It depends. I mean, with me, not really. Because my fragrance might decide my outfit, to be honest with you. So my fragrance might decide my outfit, to be honest with you. And I know that other people, they'll sit there and they'll say, well, oh, wear this with at least a polo, or wear this with at least. There are some fragrances that you do need to garner a certain level of respect, right? And so that garner a certain level of respect. Like I got Chris Collins, Don Savage, Chris Collins, Harlem Nights. Do not put those on unless you are coming with that swag, with that suit, that tie, that blazer. They command that type of respect. But living in Colorado, this is not a town that dresses up quite a bit. You can go anywhere casual, right? And so, but you can dress up your outfit with your fragrance, which is what I typically do. I dress up my outfit with my fragrance, and I can make pretty much anything I'm wearing go from casual to a dressy casual, depending on what I'm wearing, right? And so depending on what I'm wearing, and I would typically throughout the day or throughout like a work day, or if I'm going out somewhere, I'll pick my fragrance before I even pick my outfit. So it's the other way around for me, Star. And Star just seems like she's a new listener. I haven't heard that name before, so I do appreciate you watching.
Looks like Dre dropped in, but I'll answer that question before Dre comes down from the moon and tells us what's up. But for me, I think it can be both. If I'm going to a certain event, I'll dress a certain way, and depending on how I dress will determine what fragrance I'm apt to wear. the type of fragrance I'm after. Where some fragrances are more formal, some are less formal and more casual. So for me, it can go either way. If I'm not really, if I just don't have a destination to go, I'm just out and about. I may wear something semi formal with a suit with a sports jacket, pair of slacks, and then put like a t-shirt or something on, and then wear something that fits that attire. So for me, it goes both ways. What's up, Dre? I said something. Hey, man, I said something to him. He fell out of the air, man.
Woo.
I think Dre's toying with us, man.
He's playing around. He's
I guess
playing around.
we should have said somebody's Shaq shoes or something, man.
We should have let him on. We should have let him on the moment we saw him come across the screen.
Yep.
We should have let him on as soon as he crossed the stream.
Now
she said, "No,
how,
I'm
how
not.
do
You
you
know me, Rock." He says his service is straight trash.
now how do you keep your shoes clean, Eric? I mean, for
That is
me,
the hardest thing, especially when you're dealing with the red bottoms of Christian Louboutins. But the Christian Louboutins is from what I've heard throughout the sneaker community, is that you use baby wipes for them, right? Now for
really,
everything else, there are specific shoe cleaners that you can get right outside of a Foot Locker, or folks are selling those. Those have been working well for me. And then you would use a cloth, a little light brush, or a toothbrush. The old school way, white toothpaste, right? To get the white parts out. To make sure that you clean the white parts out. But typically, I am not the person to ask, because I will pay somebody to clean my shoes, to be honest with you. But what about you? What do you use?
I try to limit my wears, man. I've been gravitating more toward black soles because
Mm-hmm.
they don't shovel the dirt. But the white sole shoes, and I don't know why the Italians make shoes mostly white soles, but they do a lot of them, and those are kind of hard to keep clean. I've
Yeah,
used
they are.
soap and
Can you put
water.
me in service? I keep trying to hit it on the tablet and it won't put me back in service.
We can hear you.
Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't know I
yeah,
was on
we
the
hear you.
show.
Yeah.
My bad. I'm sorry, folks. I had an overturned car. I had to bounce real quick.
No,
We
understandable, man.
appreciate your service, Mr. Bernie. It's all good. It's all good. Next
Bugging,
time, stay
man.
on the air so we can have a first 48 moment. We want to see it live. See you handle it live.
Okay, copy. No,
Hey, man.
they said people was trapped, and I didn't have time to jump off the way
All
I
right.
should have. But
Now, Dre recommends a bottle of Awesome to clean your shoes with.
yeah,
Right. And I love Awesome. I'm gonna try that, to
hmm
be honest. I haven't
Is it in
used it,
it?
but I'm gonna try it.
Have you tried it, Bernie?
I tried it with certain shoes, but with certain shoes they work pretty good. I usually use the non-scented, non-dye wipes. Awesome. Um, Alcohol and water in some cases depends on what it is. Like my patent levels and stuff, the Jordans I got, I use alcohol and water with that. But awesome I've used, but I keep it away from white soaps. For
Yeah.
white
Now
soaps,
you
I get like a toothbrush with ivory soap and
Really,
circular
with
motion.
Ivory? Okay.
I, yeah, that's that old school. Ivory can get anything out. You
Okay.
hear me?
I
What's
you
hear
that
talking
you.
other
about
joint? The oxygen joint. That I used to use that for my tennis shoes a lot. Oxy, whatever. I used to
right?
use that.
Yeah.
Hmm
Now
Yeah.
you got Jordans too, don't you, Bernie?
But y'all was talking about high end. Yeah, I love Jordans.
I
Hmm
figured you did, man.
I
You
love
coaching
Jordans.
football. You coaching football, I figured you had to have something around the house somewhere, man.
Oh my
Give
Yeah,
them an
God.
with
electric.
Jordan,
Huh?
with Jordans, yeah, with Jordans, basically, I just clean Jordans the old-fashioned way with the toothbrush and white toothpaste.
hmm
Can you
That
believe I've
toothpaste is
never
a
owned
beast, though.
Jordans, man?
That toothpaste is a beast.
I've never owned a pair of Jordans.
I like certain ones. I'm not like everyone else. There's certain ones that I like. The ones I wore when I was coming up. Those are the ones I usually wind up getting.
Ah,
Okay.
okay,
hmm
well, that's what's up.
Man, that scared the hell out of me. They said kids trapped. I said, oh no, blue.
And so, did
I
you
ain't never
handle it, Bernie?
Man, they got out, man. They stole the car. Police
what?
chased them. They ran into a telephone pole. When they said kids trapped, I won't have that. I had to get there. Because
Oh
we thought
yeah.
we was going to have to cut them out. What it was, someone stole the car. Police chased them. They ran into a telephone pole and left. Cell phones can cause a lot of problems, man.
Mm.
Because you don't know what it is until you get there. But
Oh
no, it
wow.
was some kids, stole a car and flipped it.
And got out like roaches, running like roaches with the light on.
Got
Indeed, indeed. They're up in the woods, bro.
all
Seeking
right.
their fragrances, I guess.
So
Seeking their fragrances.
this is a portion of the show where we discuss what we're going to be talking about next week. All right, and
Okay.
I'm going to let my man G-Man, aka Leonard, tell us what we're talking about next week. We're not certain whether or not that if Dre is going to be hosting next week's show or if Leonard is going to be hosting in his place. But I don't think the subject is going to change either way. So I'm gonna let Leonard go ahead and tell you guys what we're talking about.
Next week we'll be talking about the olfactory family history, which is a breakdown of the families of fragrances and notes. There's seven classified fragrances in the olfactory family. So we'll be talking about that and what composes um, those note families consist of, and it'll go in line with what Eric's talking about this week with how to choose a winner scent. And so when we talk about next week, you'll have a better understanding of knowing what those families, olfactory family members are based upon the notes, and you'll know how it applies to what we talked about today. Because, like Erica says, certain things that you have certain notes in a fragrance is more conducive toward the winter months than it would be the summer months. He talked about the rose, he talked about the musk, he talked about the leathers, the ouds, and things like those. So we'll talk about those things next week and kind of expound on where we are today and give a little more details about knowing your note and family history. And that'll be our show for next week.
All righty. Okay, now one more fragrance I want to talk about as far as a winter fragrance. Now this is a Fragcom favorite amongst both men and women, right? And it comes from the house of Mason Francis Kirkjohn. It does include the notes of rose. It does include the notes of oud. And my particular bottle has the note of almond in it, and it's none other than Oud Satin Mood. All right,
Mm,
right. It's another
Okay.
all-day fragrance. It's another all-day fragrance. It's another one that is not for everybody. All right, you want to try it before you buy it. It's one that will stay on your body, stay on your scent for all day. Um, but it's good. Folks love this fragrance, but you do have folks that will hate on it as well. But it is a good winter fragrance. It's one of those ones. This is one of those bottles. If you look, you see how full my bottle is. It's because of the fact that it's one of those fragrances that is only good to wear in the wintertime. Now, you have people, these are your fragrances, and people wear their fragrances when they want it, when they feel like it. But if you try to wear this in the wintertime, it will choke you out. Wear it in the summertime, it will choke you out, just like this one will. But if you do it sparingly, or if you wear it at night, you might get away with it. But this particular one, I probably won't wear this until December or January, but it is a good fragrance. It's Oud Satin Mood. What you guys say about Oud Satin Mood, Leonard?
No, to be honest, I've sampled it. I actually like it.
Okay.
Not enough to buy it because that's not my brand, but I do like it. So I do have a sample of it. I do like
Can't
it.
be bad when you got the oud in it, man. Can't be
See
bad
there?
when you got oud.
See?
Mm-hmm.
I want to say this, man, for everybody, I challenge you to get out and vote on Tuesday. If you've not voted already, make sure you get out and vote. That's you too, Eric. If you hadn't voted, make sure you get out and vote, man.
I'm about to break out my ballot right now. And if anybody knows me, knows that I'm a politics fanatic and this, that, and the other. But I've been okay. I'm not gonna get too personal, but I haven't looked at my ballot since I haven't looked at my ballot. But after this show, I'm about to grab my ballot and mail it off because I think tomorrow is the last day that I can drop it in the drop-off box. So I have to do that. So, but Bernie is right. I mean, Leonard is right. If you haven't voted, please get out and vote. It's important. We're not telling you who to vote for, but make sure that you do make the effort to get out and vote. Whatever your conscience is, whatever your beliefs are, exercise your right to vote. Be a representative of your own decisions, right? If you don't vote, you're letting other people make decisions for you. So,
like and subscribe.
Always do that. I prefer if you share the channel out, like and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram at Frag Illuminati. Frag Illuminati. We are going to start putting out content that is not live, and so we are working on that, and so we can working on that so we can bring some shows out. I mean, bring some content out that is relevant to us and what we're trying to do with the show, right? Also, don't forget, Mondale is going to be on the show November. What date is
20th.
that? November 20th. That's going to be the show hosted by Bernie. He's going to have a lot of information. That show is going to air at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 11 here in these mountains. That's noon where Leonard is at. Noon Mountain Time. 11. I'm sorry. Damn. Let me start all that over. 1 Eastern. 12
noon Central. Yeah.
12 Central. 11 in these mountains. And 10 Pacific time. So yeah. Right. And if you are gonna watch from overseas, because I mean I'm pretty sure that maybe some people from my Mondale's channel may want to watch. Check your local listings and the time difference where you are located. We thank you guys for tuning in once again to the Frag Illuminati. We're here every Sunday at 5 Eastern, except on the 20th, 1 p.m. All right. So I'm sorry, at 7 Eastern, except on the 20th, 1 Eastern. We appreciate you watching. We the Illuminati. Y'all have a great evening.
Take us out, man. Take us out.
Cut.